Ambassador Anna-Maria Chikot, these are serious accusations from the EU, saying basically that the core of democracy is under threat in your country. How do you see these accusations?
They're accusations, and they're serious, but they're not founded. They're prejudiced, and they're based on flaws that have no background that can be actually justified. Hungary bashing is a very popular sport nowadays because we speak out, because we speak our minds, because the sovereign voice that Hungary has is not something that a lot of people agree with. Now, our understanding of democracy is that we can say different things. We can look at democracy in various ways. The most important thing is the people speak, and the people speak very loudly in Hungary for the third time running, giving two-thirds majority to a government that actually delivers. 9 years ago, when this government actually came first into power, said we would have 1 million more jobs. Everyone said, no way. Now we have 800,000 more jobs. We had 12% unemployment at the time. Now we have 3.2. We had one of the biggest indebtedness in Europe, just followed by Greece. And now we are coming out of all that with a 5% GDP growth, everybody doing better. People actually like those things. This is part of democracy as well, is that you deliver what you said you would.
But you say these accusations are unfounded. But let's take, for example, press freedom. The EU is worried about oligarchs close to the government who have basically monopolized national media. How can you say that these accusations are unfounded?
They are unfounded because there's a free media in Hungary. There are a lot of people owning a lot of different types of newspapers now, or different types of media.
All the worries from the EU are not correct?
Let me finish. All the media is a market. What do people want to read? What are they interested in? So, for instance, older people have print media. They are more conservative. So a lot of the print media has some conservative voice. But a lot of the online media is against the government, is very modern, is very flash, and is owned by lots and lots of different people.
So it's a question of market, you say?
It's a question of market. It's a question of what people would like.
Let's then take the independence of judges. You created a new court system dealing with, for example, human rights cases, where the government appoints all the judges. Isn't that politics interfering in justice?
If you're talking about the administration judges and the administrative courts, it has not been established. You see, you're quoting something that is 6 months ago news. This is something that we have actually
that these suggestions will be led into reality.
We have actually not introduced this court. And the reason we haven't introduced this court is because there was so much double standard and talk about it. The actual legislation that we wanted to introduce, you know what it was? It was actually the translation of a text of another country that is part of the EU. But once it's translated into Hungarian, it's not democratic. That's what I'm saying. There are double standards, and Hungary bashing is a sport.
And this conflict can ultimately lead to Hungary losing its voting right in the EU. How should Hungary deal with this process now, you think?
Well, we believe that this is really putting the cart in front of the horses. It's a long process. We have just submitted a 159-page argument as to why all these questions that were raised are either unfounded or have already been solved. And one of the problems we have with this so-called Article 7 procedure is that they're trying it out on us. They're trying out how, a bit like in Animal Farm, you can actually gang up and go against one just because there's a different voice. But we hope that Europe comes to its senses and that we can all have our opinions, and opinions are equally judged.
Thank you for that, Ambassador Anna-Maria Chikot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.